Better da. Okay, fine. Let us just start with the thing. Can someone tell me where did we stop? I think we saw about this one. Okay, yeah. Bowman's capsule, yeah. So we have seen till this thing. So if you are going to talk about a nephron will have the Bowman's capsule is there, and then you have this glomerulus. You have the afferent arteriole. You have the efferent arteriole. From here, you are going to have the DCT. Okay. So now what is this thing that we need to understand is what is Bowman's capsule? Bowman's capsule is a cup-shaped structure. Okay. Ma, please switch off this thing, videos and all. So you have this Bowman's layer is a double layered structure. It is a cup shaped structure. So I have drawn this thing. This is a cup shaped structure. You have two layers. What are the two layers? Parietal layer and visceral layer. Parietal layer is the one which is below, and the visceral layer is the one which will surround the glomerulus. Okay. So basically you have your this part is the visceral. And then you have one more part which is there down. This is the parietal. Two layers are making this thing. Okay. So quickly copy down. Ma, this week's test portion you might have 3 chapters: digestion, respiration, and your circulation. 3 chapters together you'll write. In the past weekend test, matrix was somewhat difficult, sir. What matrix, sir? Matrix match question, huh? Okay, so now next layer is like you need to know what is the glomerular membrane. Okay, what is this glomerular membrane? This glomerulus will have three layers. You have three layers of glomerulus. So this is the functional unit. Functional unit na glomerulus is going to filter it. What it is going to filter the blood. So what is helping it to do? Endothelium will have holes which are called as fenestrae. So the first layer is your endothelium. This endothelium will have small holes which will be acting as the filter. Okay, so these holes are called as fenestrae. So that is what they are trying to tell here. Okay, perforated by holes. Perforation now, and you all know perforations. When do you know what is perforations? No, you know what is a perforated sheet. Perforated na ஓட்ட ஓட்டையா போட்டது. Perforated sheet பார்த்திருக்கீங்களா? Have you seen this bill book and all? Any company's bill book? While they are doing this bill book, wherever they are going to, they will have some small holes like this. They'll have perforations like a tear off sheet. So they can tear it off and then give. இந்த இடத்துல கரெக்டா பிச்சு கொடுத்துருவாங்க. You guys know this thing? You have seen this kind of thing? That is what is perforation. Yeah, in spiral note, you have perforations. Perforations means you have hole structure. So this endothelium is perforated. Okay, and the openings are called as fenestrae. Are you able to understand? So this is the first thing. The second thing is called as the basement membrane. It is outside the endothelium. What is it made up of? It is made up of collagen and proteoglycan. It contains large spaces. So this is the second layer. This is called as the basement membrane. So this basement membrane is the second layer. It will have large spaces. Comparatively larger spaces will be there through which structures can get out. Okay, what are these? This layer is made up of? It is made up of collagen and it is also made up of proteoglycan. The third one is the visceral layer, epithelium of the visceral layer. It will contain podocytes containing pedicels which are foot-like projections. இப்போ பார்க்கிறதுக்கு வேண்டி இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும், foot-ஆ இருக்கும். So these cells are called as podocytes. Why do we call them as podocytes? Podo na leg, foot. Sites na cell, foot cells we call them. Okay, இந்த இதுல வந்து இப்படி foot மாதிரி இருக்கும் பார்க்கிறதுக்கு, கால் மாதிரி. So அதனால we call these projections as pedicels. So it will be like this. Like this it will be. The space between pedicels are called as slit pores. The filtrate enters through the slit pores. Okay, you have like in the there is a foot shaped cell, and then this is a foot shaped cell. This is a foot shaped cell. Like this it will be there. This area in between is your slit pore. Okay, through the slit pore only what will happen? The filtrate will enter. So these are the three layers. The third layer is called as the epithelium of the visceral layer. This layer is called as the epithelium. Endothelium, basement membrane, and epithelium. Are we able to understand? So please copy down this thing. Okay, I am showing the diagram. So if you want to done, if you're done, you let me know. We can proceed further. Okay, so now we'll move on to the next one. The next one is the renal tubule. In renal tubule, you'll have like three distinct regions. We have already seen. You have the PCT. Okay, followed by the DC thing, loop of Henle, and you will have the DCT. So I have just drawn it very simple. So here you need to know that okay, or it should be like different. So this is how your loop of Henle will be there. Your loop of Henle will have two zones. One is a continuation of this thing, and you will have a thinner membrane. I'll explain. I'll explain once we are going to this thing. So the diagram is this. So the renal tubule level, the first one is the proximal convoluted tubule. Why we call it as a proximal convoluted tubule? The word proximal here indicates that it is nearby to the Bowman's capsule. Okay, the word proximal means what? Nearby to the nearby. Proximal na பக்கத்துல இருக்கு. The Bowman's capsule will lead to the PCT. It is lying in the cortex. Okay, so you need to know where it is going to be located. You have your kidney. Okay, in your kidney you have this region. So this region is called as what? What is this region is called as? What is the shaded region called as? So it is the cortex region. So which means your cortex region la da edu irukku? Your renal tubule, proximal convoluted tubule will be there. Which means I'll just try to draw it. So let us say that this is the cortex. Your proximal convoluted tubule will be like this. Your Bowman's capsule will be like this. Okay, and then the loop of Henle will try to come down, and then your distal convoluted tubule will be like this. Are you able to understand? So where is this proximal convoluted tubule is lying? Which region is it lying on? Proximal convoluted tubule is that red color thing. It is lying on the cortex. Where is your loop of Henle is lying? Where is your loop of Henle is lying? It is lying in the medulla. Yeah, correct. It is lying in the medulla. Renal pyramids கிடையாது medullary regionல வந்து இருக்கும். Renal pyramids medulla regionல தான் இருக்கு. Where is your distal convoluted tubule is there? Where is your distal convoluted tubule is there? It is again lying in the cortex. Are we able to understand the position of these things? Is this diagram helping? So if you are going to see this thing, so this is how it will be. So you have your so this is your Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule will lie in the cortex region. Then this red color is your again cortex region, which is your PCT. Your loop of Henle is coming down into the medullary region, and then you have your distal convoluted tubule, which is like again there in the cortex region. So this is how your position of what is there. Your nephron is there. Each nephron will be this way only. Okay, so it is lying in the cortex cell. It is lined by epithelial cells. Okay, so I am saying this. If you are going to talk about this thing, you have this lining will be epithelial cells. Mama, it is a million of nephron will be placed in the same way. So you have this entire place. This entire place is there, no? Throughout you have this thing. So in the area ஃபுல்லுமே வந்து இங்க நெஃப்ரான்ஸா தான் இருக்கும். நெஃப்ரான்ஸோட ஹெட்ஸ் எல்லாம் இங்க இருக்கும். இந்த பக்கம் வந்து அப்படியே ரீனல் டியூபிள்ஸ் வந்து இப்படி loop of Henle வந்து இருக்கு. Okay, so now coming to this thing, this is the case, and then this is lined by epithelial cells. You have this entire in the இது இருக்கு பாத்தீங்களா, இது ஃபுல்லுமே வந்து இந்த லைனிங் ஃபுல்லுமே வந்து epithelial cells are there. So this entire lining is epithelial cells. So then it has a numerous microvilli at free end. What is the meaning of it? If you are having this pathway, you have this epithelial end, you have this epithelium. In this thing, you have microvilli will be there. So this is how your structure will look like. Which structure will look like? Your proximal convoluted tubule will be looking like this. Yeah, it is ciliated epithelium only. Ciliated epithelium only will be present. It has numerous mitochondria. Why it is having numerous mitochondria? Because it is taking part in active reabsorption of salts. So which means here the absorption will be active transport will happen. If active transport has to happen, so then you understand the thing that more energy is required. So since more energy is required, it will have numerous mitochondria. Are we able to understand? Okay, are you guys done? Okay, so now this is the proximal convoluted tubule. So now loop of Henle, the majority of the part will lie in the medulla. I told you this point already. It is lying in the medulla region. It consists of the descending limb and the ascending limb. Okay, descending limb is the upper part. So this is the descending limb. So this part is the descending limb. And this lower part is the ascending limb. So because it is coming down, we call it as descending. Since it is going up, we call it as the ascending limb. Okay. And then you also have this thing. This descending limb and ascending limb will have two parts basically. The upper part and the distal part. Okay. The upper part of the descending limb is called as the thick segment. We call it as a thick segment. Why we call it as a thick segment? Because the diameter of these two things will be same. Now, you see here, the diameter of the PCT and this thing is, it's going to be the same in the distance. This is the diameter. It is like looking like a continuation of the PCT. But over point the diameter will decrease like this all of a sudden. So this part is called as the thin segment. Are you able to understand? Looking at the diagram, you should be able to understand it. 1 minute. So you have this thing. So you have the thick segment and the thin segment. Similarly, here also you have the thin segment and then thick segment. So descending limb upper part is thick. Has a similar diameter to that of PCT. What is it lined with? It is lined with cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal epithelium na epithelial cells which are slightly different. Normal epithelium, squamous epithelium will be looking like this. So epithelial cells we call it as a squamous. Okay, if it is going to be like this, then we call it as what? Cuboidal. இப்போ இந்த ஏரியால எல்லாம் எந்த type of cells இருக்கு? It is the cuboidal epithelium which is there. Okay, and it has less microvilli and mitochondrial cells. It has less compared to the PCT. The loop of Henle will have what? Less number of mitochondria and less number of microvilli. The descending limb distal part lower part. Distal part na தூரமா இருக்க part. It is called as the thin segment. So in that it is lined by flat epithelial cells. Flat epithelial cells are squamous. So which means you have this area. This is the thicker segment, and then you have the thinner segment like this. So this area will be lined with cuboidal. So you will have cuboidal cells will be there. Whereas here, if you are going to see, it will be flat epithelium, which is squamous epithelium. So it will be lined with squamous. Are you able to understand? So this is the case. And here also it will have very few microvilli and very few mitochondria. Compared to that part, this will be lesser. This will be lesser. This will be even lesser. This will have more. Which one will have more? The PCT will have more. This will have lesser. And it will have even lesser. Passive ionic movement is seen here. So here only passive ionic movement only will be seen here. So it means like it does not require water. It does not require active absorption. And the area active absorption abina, it will not require more mitochondria. Similarly, the ascending limb also will have a thin segment and the thick segment. Idhe maida ascending limb. So the ascending limb will also have the same way. Are we able to understand? So quickly copy it down. Okay, are you guys done? Can we move on? Children, please respond. I'm not the host, is it? Okay, I'm the host. Taufik, you're not coming to class every day. Someday you're there, someday you're not there. Okay, so now we'll move on. So then you have the distal convoluted tubule. Distal convoluted tubule, again, it is lying in the cortex. It is lined by cuboidal cells and it will have fewer microvilli. So you have your distal convoluted tubule. So this is like there. So it will be lying like this. If you look at this thing, it will be made up of cuboidal cells, which will have fewer microvilli. Okay. It has junctional tubule in the terminal part. Okay. In the terminal part, it will have a specialized tubule which is called as the junctional tubule. So if in that there is a small segment which is called as the junctional tubule. So this is where your collecting duct will come and join. Collecting duct join ஆகிற இடத்துல it will have a specialized tubule which we call it as the junctional tubule, and then DCT joins the collecting duct. Ducts unite to form ducts of Bellini. Okay, so all these ducts will be like kind of connected. இப்போ பாத்தீங்கன்னா all these ducts will be, இப்போ let us say that this is the duct of Bellini, the collecting duct will be opening here. Numerous things will be opening into this thing. So this common duct is called as the duct of Bellini. So from here you have this thing, you have this thing. So all these neurons and all will be collecting duct, and the DCT will come and attach here. All these things will send the urine, and this duct, common duct, is called as the duct of Bellini. The duct runs through the papilla. So you have this renal papilla is there, no? So here you have your renal papilla. So all these collecting tubules will be running through the papilla. So it will be like passing through this thing. So it will be like passing through this. So it will come. Okay, quickly copy down. Hey, what is meant by papilla? You don't know what is kidney. Kidney la structures enna irukku. What is this thing called as? Kidney la eppadi irukume indha structure ku per enadhu? What is the name of this thing? What is the name of this structure, man? Others can also respond quickly. I don't have time. It is medullary pyramid. In the pyramid in the lower portion, what is this region is called as? What is this region is called as? This is called as renal papilla. So all this thing, you have your DCT will be like this. All your DCT will be like running through this way, and all these things will be like kind of like entering into a collecting duct mari இப்படி இருக்கும். அந்த collecting duct இப்படி பாஸ் ஆகும் இதுல வரிசையா. இப்போ இந்த வழியா வரும்போது இங்க இந்த மெடுலரி பிரமிட்ல இருந்து தான் என்ன ஆகும் உங்களுக்கு, இப்போ இந்த இடம் ஃபுல்லா உங்களுக்கு இதா இருக்கும். ஸோ இது ஃபுல்லா நெஃப்ரானோட இந்த லூப்பா இருக்கும். ஸோ இப்போ இங்க இருந்து கலெக்ட் ஆகக்கூடியது எல்லாம் யூரின் எல்லாமே என்னன்னா இந்த ரீனல் பாப்பிலாக்கு வரும். ரீனல் பாப்பிலால இருந்து தான் உங்களுக்கு திருப்பி இட் வில் கோ டு த இந்த ரீஜன் வழியா இப்படி வெளியில போகும் யூரிட்டர். இந்த டியூபியூல்ஸ் இப்படி வருது அப்படின்றாங்க. ஸோ த டக்ட் ரன்ஸ் த்ரூ த பாப்பில்லா அப்படின்னா பாப்பில்லா வழியா இட் வில் ரன். ஆர் வி ஏபிள் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட்? டேய் இப்பதான் சொல்றேன், அதுக்குள்ளார ஒன் மோர் டைமா. யூ ஹாவ் திஸ் பிசிடி இருக்கு, டிசிடி இருக்கு, டிஸ்டல் கன்வல்யூட்டட் டியூபிள் தான் ரெட் கலர்ல போட்டிருக்கேன். இந்த distal convoluted tubule எல்லாம் போய் முடிகிற ஓப்பனிங்க்கு பேர் கலெக்டிங் டக்ட். இந்த கலெக்டிங் டக்ட் வந்துட்டு அப்படியே வந்துட்டு இது வழியா வந்துட்டு இந்த கலெக்டிங் டக்ட் எல்லாம் போய் ஜாயின் ஆகுற இடம் தான் வந்துட்டு we call it as duct of Bellini. இங்க என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்கன்னா கலெக்டிங் டக்ஸ் யுனைட் டு ஃபார்ம் டக்ஸ் ஆஃப் பெலினி அப்படின்னு இருக்காங்க. இப்போ இந்த கலெக்டிங் டக்ஸ் வந்துட்டு இப்போ இந்த டியூபா போய் கலெக்டிங் டக்டா போய் இது பண்ணும்போது இதெல்லாம் யுனைட் ஆகுற இந்த ஒரு பெரிய டியூபுக்கு பேர் வந்துட்டு we can call it as ducts of Bellini. இது மாதிரி நிறைய கலெக்டிங் டக்ட் இருக்கும். ஓகே, we are not talking about only one collecting duct. கலெக்டிங் டக்ஸே வந்துட்டு நிறைய இருக்கும். அந்த கலெக்டிங் டக்ஸ் எல்லாமே வந்துட்டு இப்போ இதுல இருந்து இப்போ நிறைய கலெக்டிங் டக்ஸா இருக்கும். அதெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு அந்த கலெக்டிங் டக்ஸ் போறது எல்லாமே வந்துட்டு we call it as Bellini. அந்த ஒரு டக்ட்டுக்கு பேரும் டக்ஸ் ஆஃப் பெலினி. அந்த டக்ஸ் ஆஃப் பெலினி வந்துட்டு என்ன ஆகும்னா இந்த கலெக்டிங் டக்ட் வந்துட்டு இட் வில் பாஸ் த்ரூ த ரீனல் பேப்லே. வந்து இது வழியா வந்துட்டு ஓப்பன் பண்ணி விட்டு யூரின் வில் பி கம்மிங் த்ரூ திஸ் திங் அண்ட் தென் இட் வில் கெட் டு த யூரிட்டர். மெனி கலெக்டிங் டக்ஸ், அதனால தான் கலெக்டிங் டக்ஸ் யுனைட் டு ஃபார்ம் டக்ஸ் ஆஃப் பெலினி. Okay, so now let us move on. We don't have much time. So how is the blood thing in kidney? I will try to explain this in a slide and then we can come to the slide. Okay. You have your renal artery. Okay. So this renal artery, when it is coming, it will branch into arterioles. So this arteriole is there. You have like Bowman's capsule is there. This arteriole will come and then you have this glomerulus is there. So let me say that this glomerulus is there. Okay. So this afferent arteriole will come and this efferent arteriole is coming out. This is afferent and this is efferent. When it is going here, it will further branch out into small areas, which we call it as the peritubular network. This peritubular network will be like further connected to vasa recta. And this vasa recta will be like kind of joining together to form venules. These venules will be joining together to form renal vein. Are we able to understand? So renal artery will get inside, it will branch into arterioles. This arterioles, it is getting connected with the glomerulus. And then what is happening is like it is coming in and then it is going out as a efferent arteriole. And then here it is branching further. So this peritubular network and vasa recta are the capillaries. And the capillaries எல்லாம் திருப்பி join ஆகும்போது venules மாறிடுது. Venules வந்துட்டு renal vein வந்துட்டு join ஆகுது. So here it is oxygenated with the urea. In this region itself without urea. Urea is lost. Oxygen is lost. So while it is coming here, it is becoming deoxygenated without urea. Are we able to understand? இது உள்ளுக்குள்ளார போகும்போது நிறைய arterioles split ஆகும். அப்ப எத்தனை arterioles அது split ஆகும்? You have 10 lakh nephrons அப்படின்னா வந்து 10 lakh arterioles form ஆகும். Are you able to understand? அது உள்ளுக்குள்ளார போற அந்த blood vessel வந்து அப்படியே fine tubes போகும் அப்படியே போயிட்டு 10 lakh பக்கம் இருக்கும். And then it will go and each glomerulus ஓட அது கனெக்ட் ஆகுது அது. This is the Bowman's capsule that I am talking about. அதுக்கப்புறம் இதுல வந்து இப்படி tubules இருக்கு. You are able to understand. So it will be like this. So the afferent arteriole, and then arteriole it will become peritubular network. Peritubular network will become vasa recta. Vasa recta will become joined together to form venules. Venules will join together to form the renal vein. The peritubular network and the vasa recta are capillaries. It is coming in as artery. Artery is branching into arterioles. Arterioles are joined together. I mean, like it becomes capillary, and capillary is becoming your venules, and venules becomes veins. Are we able to understand? Okay, are you guys done? So now renal artery arises from the dorsal aorta. Aorta la irundhu varudhu. Renal artery divides into afferent arterioles. Afferent arterioles enter the Bowman's capsule. Efferent arterioles arise from the glomerulus. Efferent arterioles are divided into fine capillary network called as peritubular capillary network. Peritubular capillary network gives rise to vasa recta, a network of capillaries that join together to form renal venules. Renal vein opens into the inferior vena cava. So which means you have your heart la irundhu aorta valiya dorsal area ku vandu renal artery varudhu. Renal artery vandu arteriola mari it is becoming peritubular. From here it becomes vasa recta. From vasa recta it becomes venules, and again it becomes renal vein, and then it goes to the inferior vena cava, and then it is connected to the heart. Are we understanding how it is moving? Children, please respond something at least. I'm not getting any messages. Are you even in the class? I don't know. So please copy the slide. Okay, sorry. I did not notice that thing. I'll start talking about juxtaglomerular cells. Okay, juxtaglomerular cells is something which is the next part that we are going to study. What is this juxtaglomerular cells that we'll try to understand. So if you are going to see this case, I am drawing this structure. This is your PCT, and this is your loop of Henle, and this is your DCT, and this is your afferent arteriole. This is your efferent arteriole. Are you understanding this diagram first of all? What I have drawn? Yes or no? Quickly tell me. I don't have much time. Okay. The walls of this afferent arteriole and efferent arteriole will have smooth muscles because these muscle cells will have some small dark stained cells. Where is it located? It is located in the smooth muscles of afferent and efferent arteriole. So the smooth muscle cells la irukkakoodiya cells ku per dhaan we call it as what? We call them as juxtaglomerular cells. What is the meaning of juxtaglomerular? It is near glomerular. Juxta means something with like very close. Juxtaglomerular cells vantu irukku. What is the role of this cells? This granulated cells are called as juxtaglomerular cells. What will it contain? It will contain something called as renin. Okay, so you have this cells will contain renin. renin will be in inactive form. Okay, please note the spelling here. It is RENIN. I'm not using RENNIN. Okay. What is RENNIN? It is a digestive enzyme. What is RENIN? It is a hormone. Okay. Normally, this is inactive hormone is there. If in the inactive hormone, suppose if it is becoming renin, it is becoming active aidichovina, what will happen? This will be converting a substance which is called as angiotensinogen into angiotensin. In the renin enga, this is present in the juxtaglomerular cells will produce this thing. Okay. Yalini, please listen, Yalini. This is a very important concept. You can write it later. You have this inactive, this juxtaglomerular cells is going to produce renin. Okay, this renin is normally inactive. It can be activated. If it is active, it will try to, the blood will have a substance which is called as angiotensinogen. Okay, the blood will have a substance which is called as angiotensinogen. This is an inactive form. தம்பி ரெண்டு ரெனின் இருக்கு உடம்புல. ஒன்னு வந்துட்டு உங்க RENN INன்றது வந்துட்டு உங்க டைஜஸ்டிவ் சிஸ்டத்துல நீங்க படிச்ச ரெனின். சின்ன பிள்ளைங்கள்ல செக்ரீட் ஆகும். உங்க அம்மா அப்பாவோட மீன் லைக் அம்மா மில்க் குடிக்கும்போது, மதர்ஸ் மில்க் குடிக்கும்போது தட் ரெனின் வில் பி லைக் ஹெல்பிங் இன் கன்வெர்ட்டிங் யுவர் மில்க் இன்டு டைஜஸ்டிவ் ப்ராடக்ட். இந்த RENNIN அப்படின்னா வந்துட்டு அது வந்துட்டு டைஜஸ்டிவ் என்சைம். RENIN அப்படின்றது வந்துட்டு ஹார்மோன். இப்ப நான் பேசுற ரெனின்ன்றது வந்துட்டு RENNIN பத்தி நான் பேசுறேன். I am talking about the hormone. I am not talking about the digestive enzyme. Digestive enzyme வந்துட்டு ஸ்டொமக்ல இருக்கும். அது வந்துட்டு it is produced by the stomach. Chief cells வந்துட்டு ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணும். இதை வந்துட்டு நம்ம வந்துட்டு டைஜஸ்டிவ் சாப்டர்ல வந்துட்டு நம்ம பார்த்தோம். ஓகே, இந்த ரெனின்ன்றது வந்துட்டு இன்ஆக்டிவா இருக்கும். அது வந்துட்டு இப்ப நமக்கு வந்துட்டு தேவையாச்சு அப்படின்னா வந்துட்டு இட் கேன் பி ஆக்டிவேட்டட். யார் ஆக்டிவேட் பண்ணுவான்றது வந்துட்டு we can study it later. But now we will try to study if it is active, what is it doing. இந்த inactive renin வந்துட்டு active renina மாறுச்சுன்னா it will be able to convert this angiotensinogen into angiotensin. Okay, இந்த angiotensinன்றது வந்துட்டு bloodல இருந்ததுன்னா it will do two things. ஒன்னு வந்துட்டு என்ன பண்ணும் அப்படின்னு கேட்டா it will increase aldosterone. ஆல்டோஸ்டிரோன்ன்றது ஒரு ஹார்மோன். இந்த ஹார்மோன் லெவலை அது இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணிவிடும். அப்படி இல்லை அப்படின்னா it will do the second work. It will try to increase the BP in arterioles. இது ரெண்டு விஷயம் பண்ணுது. So what is this angiotensin is going to do? It will increase the BP. So now imagine in the arteriesல வந்துட்டு BP ஜாஸ்தியா இருந்ததுன்னா what will happen? இப்ப இது வழியா வரும்போது pressure ஜாஸ்தியா வருது. அப்போ what do you think will happen? Will the filtration will increase or decrease? Will the filtration increase or decrease? Are we able to understand? இப்போ இந்த ஆன்ஜியோடென்சின் வந்துட்டு உங்களுக்கு பிளட்ல இருந்ததுன்னா அந்த கிட்னில இருக்கக்கூடிய இதுல எல்லாமே வந்துட்டு என்ன ஆகும்? கிட்னில இருக்கக்கூடிய ஆர்டரியோல்ஸ் எல்லாத்துலயுமே பிளட் ப்ரெஷர் ஜாஸ்தியாகும். பிளட் ப்ரெஷர் ஜாஸ்தி ஆச்சுன்னா மோர் பிளட் இஸ் ஃபில்டர்ட். மோர் பிளட் இஸ் ஃபில்டர்ட்னா மோர் யூரின் வில் பி செக்ரீட்டட். ஆர் யூ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங்? ஸோ இந்த ஜக்ஸ்டாக்ளோமெருலர் செல்ஸ்ன்றது எங்க இருக்கு? யாழினி யூ கேன் காப்பி இட் நவ். ஓகே, ஸோ ஜக்ஸ்டாக்ளோமெருலர் செல்ஸ் அப்படின்றது எங்க இருக்கு அப்படின்னு கேட்டா இட் இஸ் தேர் இன் த அஃபரண்ட் ஆர்டரியோல் அண்ட் இஃபரண்ட் ஆர்டரியோல்ல ஸ்மூத் மசில் செல்ஸ்ல யூ ஹாவ் அ ஸ்பெஷலைஸ்ட் டைப் ஆஃப் செல் விச் இஸ் கால்ட் அஸ் juxtaglomerular cells. This juxtaglomerular cells will have either this granulated, it will be granulated. In the granulated cells will produce what abin ketta? It will produce RENIN, a hormonal substance. RENIN is produced. This renin will convert angiotensinogen into angiotensin. This angiotensin is doing two work. What are the two work it is doing? It will increase the aldosterone and then like it will increase the BP. Okay, this is the role of it. So people with high BP will have high frequent urination. Yes, they will have. If your blood pressure is more, your urination level will be more. Are we able to understand, children? யாரும் உட்கார்ந்து கவனிக்கிற மாதிரி இல்லை, எல்லாம் நடந்துகிட்டே தான் இருக்கீங்க வீட்டில். Okay, are we clear? Are we clear about this thing? So please let us look into this thing. So juxtaglomerular cells will contain inactive renin. It converts angiotensinogen into angiotensin. Angiotensin increases the secretion of aldosterone. Aldosterone or role enandradhu vandu we will study. Okay, but it will also do one more thing. What is that one more thing it will do? It will try to increase the BP. Okay, that is not mentioned in the slide, but that is also true. Okay, with this thing we'll stop today's class. This week we should complete this lesson, and next week your portion will be this chapter. Okay, after completing this lesson we'll go to locomotion. Locomotion munja piragu we'll go for this one, chemical coordination. Yeah, we can complete it before whole February. Before February we can complete the entire thing. Once we are done with this physiology itself, the major chunk is over. In your 5 chapters in your 11th physiology, plant physiology is all small chapters only. Not next week. This week itself we'll complete. This week itself we'll start with chemical. They'll complete it, don't worry. Have they started thermodynamics, sir? Have they started thermodynamics in physics and chemistry? If they have started in chemistry, they have started thermodynamics. Okay, in physics they haven't started. In physics they did not start thermodynamics yet. Okay. You're in rotational motion. Okay. If thermodynamics is started by this time, you can complete it easily. This is the first slide for the day. Okay, thank you, children. I'll upload once the class is over. You please let it. Thank you.